Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. So people have asked me about this document of navigating differences that's been signed by so many people and addressing, LGBTQ. What does that peaceful coexistence means? What if we want to preach against, your ideology as you preach against ours? What about people can choose as opposed to be forced in by policy and so on? Can things change or could be changed? If it is and should and can, of course, be changed in terms of reversing policies that have been in the favor of this alphabet group. I think in one way, we have to say, okay, maybe some of these people who were very doubtful in the previous 5 years, these compassionate imams, of how weakly they've approached this issue, and it was quite disappointing. Past 5 years from the compassionate imams of how they addressed the so-called LGBTQ issue and how these people have aggressively attacked our children, our communities, our families. Sadly, how badly they responded. And there's so many videos of them, and you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you're not opposed to same-sex marriage?
Politically, yes, but morally, I don't agree with this. So there's a distinction.
But as a law of the land, you're not campaigning to change the law?
Of course not. No.
We are determined to cry together, to pray together, to stand together, straight, gay.
They're the same people, very popular, pretty much same organizations. I hope and I pray that this is an attempt for them to reclaim themselves. And I hope that there will be other steps in following up in what they've said, that it's just not words. It's not just that we will coexist and that's it. No, we'll not violently or attack you or anything like that or hurt anyone, but intellectually, yes, we can attack. Intellectually, we can convince people that you're wrong by constitution and oppose and reverse policies and legislations. Only if people start joining hands and doing it. The same way these people pushed it on your throat, you can also spit it out now. Again, disclaimer, we don't want to hurt you, we don't want nothing, no violence, hate speech, blah, blah, all this rubbish. No. But like politics, if the left has an opinion, the right might not agree, and legislatively and all that, they'll, campaign against each other, and, the best will win. And indeed, it's, our ideas are in line with the fitrah, with natural human disposition. And as they are propagating their ideas, no one should stop us from propagating ours. Because this is the problem in the double standards with democracy and these systems, right? So if you dug that hole and you're in that system, then hey, we can work within the system, no problem. But don't be a hypocrite and a double standard. And okay, it works for them, but it doesn't work for us. No, let the best man win. In an intellectual argument, I guess I say, disclaimer, no violence, none of that. No one wants to get locked up, but no one is a coward. But these people now, with this document, navigating differences, let's see what they're going to do. I know a lot of brothers have been criticizing. We've criticized them, no doubt, all of us, okay? And people have criticized us. Criticism is going to be around always. So you have to get used to it. If you're out there in the social media and talking about stuff, guess what? You better be used to criticism or accept criticism. I do hope that these people reclaim themselves. We should always want for Muslims to reclaim themselves, to do better. This is my message to this group of compassionate imams. I pray and I hope that you have seen the light and Allah guided you to change your opinions, because indeed it was a change. Like if you were to compare these brothers, these sheikh, doctor, whatever, brothers, may Allah bless them, that we've known them and we even studied with them before, and it was a disappointing, sad news when they came out with some of their statements and their collaborations. Very sad. But we hope and pray, and I pray that this is a good news and good start. I want to take it positive. I really do. I don't agree with the brothers who are just like, because if you read the document, if you take just the document by itself, to an extent, it has some good elements. A lot could have been said more, but it has some good elements in it, and we have to agree to that. We can be unfair from Sharia perspective, okay? So let's hope for the best. We'll see what happens, but we should continue and we should add stuff. I hope there's an amendment to the document and more is going to be said, and that the Muslim communities are going to push harder to block these people from shoving down the throat of our children and our communities this kind of philosophy and ideology. And if the governments insist on allowing them to do that, then they should allow us equally to reverse and to oppose that intellectually with our dawah activities and our work, and to criticize them and to expose them for what they are, just the way they're trying to do it to us. The double standard does not work within democracy, supposedly your democratical system, which you've coined, which is not a divine system. It's supposedly going to give everyone equal access and opportunity, isn't it? So how come, again, there's this hypocrisy and this double standard? So there's a lot that can be said. I do, and I pray, I'm not going to just make a ruling right now, but I pray that it's going to be positive. I pray that more people change. We should hope for our brothers to regain themselves and redeem themselves, not to push them more deeper into the hole or to aid shaitan against them. No. Whatever, even if we've deferred with them, we hope that they change. We pray that they change, not to have malicious intent, that even when they try to do something, that we just push them more and more. I've criticized them. Now I stop. I'm going to wait, see what they do. And, I pray that I myself never fall into this fitna, or the brothers who are criticizing never fall into this fitna. Remember that a lot of us were not guided before, and Allah guided us. And we hope that these brothers get guided as well. A lot of fitna of social media. These celebrity sheikhs, compassionate imams have had a lot of following, and sadly became a demand-supply Islam. And we criticize them for that. And some brothers have done a great job in criticizing and exposing their hypocrisies and their evils. But now it seems that some people are trying to regain themselves. It seems. Let us observe and see and hope and pray for good. What's the benefit if we're just going to attack them again when they're supposedly trying to do something good? You think you see beyond their intentions? Leave their intentions up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and let's see if they go straight and they continue. And this was just a facade and a farce type of thing. Then of course we'll go back to reverting to our original approach and criticism and exposing them and so on. But if not, come on guys, let's hope for the best. Let's hope for goodness. Don't predict that it's going to be just bad. We're just sabotaging our communities. Let's try to hope for the best, that people see their mistakes, because they see. I've been saying about this as a school principal and working with kids and students for the longest time. Yes, you are an imam. Yes, you might have access to some youth, but you don't spend time with them every single day as we did as teachers. And we saw how they suffer. Maybe, a'udhu billah, I pray that Allah did not test you with one of your kids ending up falling into that. And then people start saying, whoa, 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 now it's a big problem. Now let's fight it back. Or maybe someone from your family. Oh, now we're going to release this document. This document should have been released long time ago, when some of these compassionate imams have started, talking about this thing in a very ludicrous and inappropriate way, which was horrible. And it caused so much confusion in our community. Now, after the damage has been done, okay, it's good to try to reclaim yourself. That's great. But more has to be done. So I want to see, and we want to see the community more than just a document of navigating differences. This is not just differences. This is like, according to Islam, this is a huge problem. This is not just like an issue of, where to hold your hands in prayer or something like that. No, this is an issue that is linked to super high morality, and it's linked to politics in the end. You cannot separate morality from politics. As much as people have tried to do, and some of these compassionate imams have made that mistake and saying that, government is not in charge of police morality. What are you talking about? Like, do you understand that you're an educated person? You got a PhD. You're a smart guy, supposedly. Obviously, you're not understanding what you're saying, because now you're retracting that. And what you've done is pretty much a political move. So you've kind of contradicted yourself. I hope it's not with malicious intent. I hope that this contradiction is as a retraction, as an adaptation, as a way to reclaim yourself and to fix your problems and to move forward in the correct way and to unite the community in one way, which is following what the Anbiya have done, how they treated the people who have, gone towards this astray. No violence. We understand we live in these countries. We understand that we have to abide by certain laws. But there's nowhere in these laws to say that we cannot change these laws, that we cannot campaign against these laws and against the movement and the pressure and aggressiveness of these people, what they're trying to do to our children and to us. There's nowhere that it states that. This is not, I repeat, hate speech. This is not, I repeat, a call for violence or anything like that. We dissociate ourselves from that because we know exactly how it feels. We're not in a Sharia state here or this and that. It would be different if it was. We don't lie about that. We don't shy about that. We don't try to fool you about that just because we're cowards or something like that. We're not cowards. But we intellectually and academically oppose you we obey the laws supposedly, we do all these things, because if not, then why are you even spending time in that country? Man, you should get out of there if you don't like it, right? Don't be a hypocrite, So, don't enjoy the benefits and then this government, that government, people criticize politically, they don't know what they're talking about. If you don't like something, get out of there, right? Don't be a hypocrite, okay? But if you're there and you think that this is where you're supposed to be, for whatever reason, then, hey, use whatever you have in terms of resources in navigating and fighting intellectually against this oppression, against this this political oppression that they're doing on you. And if not, then hey, well, that's why there's hijrah, isn't it? Right? If you're not doing dawah, what you doing, man? If you're just sitting there and just ingesting what you're being fed every single day without any opposition, well, guess what? This is a big problem, isn't it? So I hope you don't misunderstand me. I hope I was clear. I hope that people understand what we're talking about. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. And we are going to wait and hope for the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's your brother Gabriel Romaani. I ask you today, brothers and sisters, to consider becoming a patron. You can get access to exclusive content, our trips, behind the scenes, stuff that we wouldn't be releasing in public, but at the same time supporting the dawah and helping us to continue being independent. So check out the description, the link, and click and share with all your loved ones so they can also benefit, inshallah.